Blockchain Talk. Today is December the 4th, 2022. We are focusing on the blockchain projects in the traditional business. Today's news is that, so we have the business news, is saying that IBM and Australian stock market's blockchain project failed, a blow to private ledgers. We have been talking about the blockchain project for a while, and I think it's a couple of years already. And also in many situations, I mentioned that there are so many big companies that are doing blockchain project and the technology as well. Many of my friends actually in my Toronto blockchain group, that we had a technical group, also have really severe discussion. Actually, is that kind of the saying that, okay, I haven't seen any of the successful blockchain projects so far except the Bitcoin. And I also comment out that, so no, you don't understand blockchain, because there's so many big companies also includes some of the big financial firms. They are doing a blockchain project as well. Which means that actually blockchain has the real use case and the scenario and the business case, and that there is the value for the traditional company. They are adapting the blockchain as a technology and doing the whatever to integrate this kind of distributed ledger technology into their real business. But today I have to say that that's still the case. That's still the case. The innovation will never stop, and the big companies and the financial firm will continue to try out the blockchain technology. However, there are still a long way to go. So this news actually telling people that even you are trying to do a blockchain, this is not an easy task. There are still so many difficulties for the traditional business if they try to adapt the Web3 and the blockchain technologies. So IBM is my former employer. And then actually many of my friends, they're still doing blockchain technology in IBM as well. It's a well-known one is the actually IBM the Fabric. IBM Fabric. IBM has a blockchain division as well. Some of my friends are still working there, and then later on they quit. We all know that the original idea about the IBM doing blockchain is using the distributed ledger technology to do a supply chain, right? The Fabric version 1, pre-release the version 1 is still showing we are mentioned about the FedEx supply chains, right? So the traditional, the way of people are shipping the goods globally, and IBM using that kind of the technology to do the checking. So so this package is in where, and then what is the real meaning about that package? And so I've been tracing all the information and then showing people this is and also IBM doing a demo as well, I think. But that's not an easy task. There are so many reasons, okay? Today is the news, okay? We also know that IBM actually having a business contract with the very famous the shipping company called Maersk. Maersk actually using that. It's more like a checking system as well, using the ledger system as more like a global supply chain things and checking system. This is also failed. The famous one actually is you know that the news is saying that this week TradeLens, LENS, right? The blockchain system built by software from IBM and closely linked to shipping giant Maersk announced it was shutting down. The whole project is shutting down already. There are so many these kind of the news actually showing up everywhere not long ago, saying that IBM is moving forward toward the blockchain. And also 2 weeks ago, the Australian Security Exchange You remember that the Hyperledger, right? We know that the Hyperledger, right? Hyperledger Foundation, and also long time ago, the called digital asset company. They are doing project in Australian Stock Exchange, like a security exchange, Australian Stock Exchange and Australian Security Exchange. They are trying to adapting the blockchain technology. That was exciting news at the moment to the blockchain industry. But so I'm so disappointed about my former employer. The IBM, right? IBM has tried a lot of effort and put a lot of investment into blockchain. Even the Fabric, we can see that. So to be honest, the Fabric is a great product. It is a great blockchain technology, but now it's still not very successful at all. As I know, many of my friends, they are building their system on top of the Fabric, the so-called consortium chain and the private chain. They're using the ledger called DLT technology, distributed ledger technology. They try to avoid the token. I think 90% of my friends, they are doing the system, the blockchain system on top of the Fabric because of the regulation issue, the concern. Regulation concerns that to make, because they saying that when we are doing the technology, we try to adapt the innovation, but we don't want to touch the red line about the regulation, saying that we are a token or coin issuer. We don't want to get into that regulation trouble, especially for some country like those countries in China. If you issue in the token, it's illegal. Yeah, so they try to avoid that kind of regulation issue and then trouble, and then still adapting the technology, so that they invest a lot of money into building their systems on top of the Fabric. But I think 90% of them are failed. Yeah, to be honest, it doesn't mean that the blockchain has no future. It actually means that actually this one, and either IBM nor ASX, because Australian Security Exchange, respond to requests for comment by the press time, which means that even some of the press actually try to call IBM, and this has no comment at all because the projects are failing. And then the consultant fund, right? Consultant fund is the Enlong and Yang, right? Enlong and Yang actually, one of the people actually knowing that they had Ernst and Young, right? The consultant firm, right? There is one key problem about this approach, this private blockchain ledger technology. This kind of project fail because they have a common problem about all these projects. You point it out, right? It's a Web 2 business model, but a little bit Web 3 pixel. Yeah, and which means that, so you are still using a Web 3 technology, try to adapt it into the traditional business, but you are still using the Web 2 business model. So this is kind of the contradiction, right? Web 3, you need to use the Web 3 business model. If you realize, no, what is the Web 3? It's token-driven economies. You don't have the token, how can you are able to drive this token project, right? And then the reason why this kind of project is a fail, because it's lack of the transactions. People are not interact. The user had very few situations to interact with your private ledger. Without the transaction, how this system is going to survive? That's a big problem. As I mentioned over and over again, many of my friends, they are coming from the traditional business. Many of them are not even a Web 2 business yet. They don't have the business model, but they are jumping into the blockchain technology and blockchain domain, saying that, oh, we had plenty of the money, right? We are very successful in our existing business model, but we try to use the blockchain. I talk to them then, how are you going to do a business model? How are you going to create your cash flow? There has no way. Okay, we already successful. That's what we are doing, just like cheating the blockchain as a database. That's only one of the situation. In terms of technology, cheating, when we are talking about using a blockchain as is like you are doing as a database, it's just one of the use case in the business scenario. But you need to adapt a new business model. The blockchain business model is different from the traditional business model. They are not doing the same way that you are actually is a centralized way. Web 2 business model might not work for Web 3 business model. If you are adapting the Web 2 business model, you need to actually getting profit from your Web 2 business model as well, right? You don't need to get money from the Web 3. They're saying that, oh, we don't have token, we don't get rich, and we don't want to get profit from our token, right? That's true. But then you need to do a bit Web 2 business model. You need to attract your user. If you are not attracting your user, use your product and service, and there is no transaction in your system, it will be a fail. It will be a failure, right? All the projects will fail too. So this is pointing a key problem of the traditional business while they're adapting the blockchain database, blockchain technology. Either you are using the blockchain as a database, or you are using a blockchain as a transaction base to building the trust. We know that. So the blockchain is a trust machine, and you need to use that kind of the trust into your business model. And then all the system, actually the ledger is out. Now the private ledger technology, they are not efficient, and then the performance might not be as good as the centralized database projects. So many of this is a big trouble, right? So I want to warning. I want to send a message to all my friends and whoever actually doing the blockchain and Web3 project and adapting these technologies, that you need to have the deep understanding about the blockchain project business model. Without a valid business model, you won't success. You will fail. You will be running out of all the resources and the money as well. Yeah. That's the different from if you're trying to do using a Web 2 business model to winning the Web 3 industry and the business. That's another story, but it's nothing to do with the blockchain technology at all. Okay, so this is the IBM. Actually, all the IBM is failing. Is the blockchain projects. Either with the Maersk and the Australian Security Exchange projects, it's all failed. I tell you, that's why I kind of disappointed to IBM. IBM has very good technology and talent engineer, but they don't understand the business model and the blockchain and the Web3 at all. So many of my friends, they're still working in IBM blockchain division, but they are quitting. They're quitting either to do their own blockchain venture business, or either switch to the other IBM team internally. That's the reality. So there are still a long way to go. Not necessarily you're trying to innovate it and then you are able to become success. So innovation and the successful is totally different. Yeah. Okay. Blockchain Talk. Subscribe me.